we have a little topic to discuss that we are dealing with. So let's run the place and give it some vibes, you know. Tonight we're gonna talk about royalty-free music, man. How you like it? I'm not going for this blood clot tune. Anyway, listen to him. I have a confession to make. That's not the song I was meant to play, but anyway. Alright. People are going to join in or they won't join in. I want to be talking to myself still, but anyway. So, earlier today, I'm sure you up on what's going on in the media and everything, right? All the posts that's been going on. Back to back. These things tend to happen back to back. When you get to find out about them and stuff, right? Jacure and Majah hype. In case you're not familiar with the incidents, I don't know if I should give you a recap. I'm not going to play, you know, the tapes or whatever, you know, stuff. But basically, Jacure was recorded by women or a woman who was in there in his room with another woman, and he's threatening them. And they were there to, in his view, or in his eyes, or what he thought was about to happen. First of all, they knew Jacure from before, it seems. You know, Jacure is threatening them, and they have to have sex with him, otherwise he's going to do this and that. He wants his money back, etc., etc. And then Majah hype. Well, let me add that Jacure didn't do anything to him. He was just being very verbally abusive. Majah hype, bigger deal than that, his wife went on and has more than one clip, and basically she's out there talking to him in the selfies and saying that, well, the latest one is that apparently after she went out and made it public that he was abusing her, physically beating her up, and you know, to get back at her, he circulated a sex tape that was on her old phone from many years ago, and she's very hurt and she's very angry, and she's saying she's not going to keep quiet anymore. And she also says that his recent pictures on his Instagram of him laying in a hospital, everyone thought he had a heart attack, and the outpouring of goodwill and best wishes for his recovery, he didn't have a heart attack, among other things. So earlier today, big up Tori, she had some opinions. We're going to go over these opinions, right? Because they matter. These things, just like race relations, we got to talk about them. And everybody has their opinion, and you know, they got to have a platform, because when people type, it's great. Facebook is okay. It's not great. YouTube is blood clot great, because you can learn shit on YouTube. Facebook, people have their opinion and they put it down. But you see, when the comments get long, and the list of comments get long, people don't read it all. You know how attention spans today is. So what I do now, I'm gonna try and do this once a week, where we're gonna read out what people said, and then some people might join us here, and you can call. You see the number there? You can call the number, or you can comment here or on YouTube. Let me see. Hey, hold on there, man. Forget about YouTube one real quick. Hey, by the way, if you haven't joined my YouTube channel, see, do so. You see me? Because 12,322 subscribers, Rasta. Bad man thing, you know, star. Yeah, man. So 2 people are watching on YouTube. Big up to them. Big up to them too. See? All right. So we're gonna get comments, but what I wrote on Facebook is up there too. I wrote earlier today 8 hours ago to be exact. Ladies, ... Tell some of your girls, stop going back to the coward who puts his hands on you. Right? I didn't just write it off a whim. I tried my best to choose my words carefully. Let me explain myself, then I'm gonna... No, you know what? Let me read some of the comments first on Facebook. Seeing? Because like I said, everyone's comment is important. So my brethren from New York, Tony, he said, unfortunately some of these women take these abusive fools because of the lifestyle he can give them. These crazy chicks will a fool back after will take a fool back. Will take a fool back after a beating, especially if he comes with a pair of $3,000 shoes and a $5,000 bag with about $10,000 in it. I have a few in my family like that, and they will swear they're not materialistic. I don't agree with that, Tony, my brethren. I don't agree with that. That's a very small, less than whatever, we don't do in the percentages, but I don't agree with that personally. See? And Barbara says you can tell them that until the cows come home. They will not until they are ready. Domestic violence is not that black and white. There's a lot of grooming and mental abuse. Monkey knows which tree to climb. I never understood it until I had friends and family that went through it. My job helped me understand and have more empathy. It can become very dangerous if there's no plan. Teach people to not be batterers. Alright, Barbara, I think she's a nurse. She works in the healthcare field. Good points. I'm going to come back to that one. Carla says they don't listen. Can't save someone that don't want to be saved. Ayana says that's not how domestic abuse works. Tori says a lot of times they're not safe. Even if after they try to leave, we should be careful about projecting your views on that, on what women should do before not holding the abuser accountable. Alright, let's go back to what I wrote now before we can continue. I never said don't hold the abuser accountable. Nowhere did I say the abuser is not accountable. I call the abusers, right, cowards. And let me add here, the coward who put his hands on you. But I could have put who put his/her hands on you. Because we live in a country, let's face it, there's a lot of LBGTQ, right? And their partners, some of their partners are abusive. Right? And if you don't agree with me, then you're not living in this world. There are women that I know that live with other women, that's their partner, and that partner or their ex-partner was abusive, literally, physically, mentally, all that blood clot thing. See? So that's one thing. Now, a lot of times they're not safe even after they try to leave. That's what I'm getting at. See? What am I getting at? Ladies, tell some of your girls, stop going back to the coward to put his hands on you. Let's take it further than that. If that's your friend getting beat up and coming to you, calling you to go to the police station, to go to the hospital, to come to your crib, right? You should, number one, tell them stop going back to that person. And if you know that person is the only place they have to go to, because that's where their belongings are, that's where their life is, that's where they live, with that dude or with that other woman. See? You ladies gotta take care of this situation. This is like race relations, right? This is like race relations. And then I'm gonna read current comments that are coming in. The problems that African Americans and black people face, they are the ones who have to A, unite, be on the same page, constantly, consistently, organize, mobilize, and then take action. Because it works. Look what happened. See? NASDAQ the place that allows companies, big corporate companies, to get on the stock market and go from making 5 million, 10 million, 50 million a year to all of a sudden having a valuation of 1 billion because they've put out shares, and you and I can go buy a piece of the company and basically give them our money and say, use our money to go ahead and make more money. NASDAQ has put in a rule now that these corporations that are in the stock market have to include a woman on their board, have to include a minority on their board. Within a certain period of time, they have to add people from these and also LGBTQ on their board. And if they don't, by a certain time, they're going to have to explain why. Because the board of directors is not a limited, it's not like basketball where only 5 people or whatever it can start. No, you can add to it. You can have a board of 5, 6, you know what I'm saying, 12, whatever. If you have 12, make it 15, bomba clap. See? So, pressure works, but it has to be united. Everybody unites at Stop and Shop last year, say we're not coming to work. Stop and Shop didn't want to give them their money. They stood together. They stood together. The corporation was losing so much money. After a while, they said, all right, let's talk. And they signed the contract. See? Women, you got to have each other's back. I'm not making excuses for the people who do the beating. Not 1 second. They are the cowards. See? They are the real pussies. See? Yes, some of them go do irrational, get even more irrational and commit murder and even worse. But most of them come crawling back, crying back, and like Majah Hype wifey said, cutting themselves in front of the woman, threatening to kill themselves first. Right? Because they know the nature of a woman. You know, soft-hearted, you know, more empathy than your typical male, etc., etc. Or supposedly so. See? Alright, so Anthony says Rastawa Brata. Anthony says Majah Hype, we beat woman. What? Women like bad treatment and rude boys. Jacure, not sex. Him one batty wash. Okay. Not many women stay for the riches. Most stay because of being lost in love, not knowing their worth, not knowing any better due to their upbringing, etc. She continues and says, I hate how much people blame the victims in domestic abuse for staying, or calling them stupid for staying and not being sensitive to the situation. I never said they're being stupid. I'm putting the onus, I'm putting the onus on the friends and the family of the victim, because they know what's going on. They are there when the blood is still hot coming down their face, their eyes, the bruises are still there. You know what I'm saying? They haven't even turned purple yet. They're bright red. You know what I'm saying? The swellings are there. There's no makeup applied. They are there. They are there to see the tears come till there's no more tears. See? Anyway, Tori says, you cannot say that. I'm almost very certain that they're told. Why is it always women's responsibility? Let me tell you. Because let me tell you something. A man or another woman, right, beats his or her partner. Yeah? And it gets out there. It becomes known. How many men or how many abusive women do you think get beat up by their family? Right? It doesn't happen. There's law, right? How many women have called police on their boyfriend, and then when the time comes for the court, they don't show up? Right? And people say they're in a situation. Yeah, of course every situation is different. I know that. But not every situation is different in terms of the general aspects of it. Sometimes all you gotta do, right? Like I said to my friend today on the phone, sometimes all you gotta do is if your friend ain't got nowhere to go, tell your friend she can stay with you. until it's sorted out. No one can come knocking on your door. No one can come breaking into your door and then call the police. Listen, if someone raises their hand and they make contact with you violently, see, and you're hurt, you call the police. Let them come, let them file a police report. A police report is exactly what it says. A police report. Yeah? Period. So all the people that don't want any more police out here, and there are men out here who, of course, say there are, you know, women abuse these situations and they make accusations and stuff. I'm not talking about rape. I'm not here talking about sexual assault. Read the graphics. It says domestic violence. That means you're living with someone, whether you're their wife, their living girlfriend, whatever. See? I don't care if it's your older brother. I don't care if it's your dad. I don't care if it's your mom. Someone beats you past a certain age, you call the police. You understand? The only reason is what I told my son when he was a kid. The only reason you ever dream of raising your hands on a woman is if she's coming at you with a knife. And even then, you are a man, she is a woman. You gotta stop her from hurting you. You don't hurt her back. You just stop her from hurting you. Yes, I know women can hurt men too. But generally speaking, women are not strong as a man. You understand? But when a woman is beaten up and they come to you as a friend, as a family member, you need to make sure they don't go back to that push sword. Otherwise, it's going to happen again and again and again. Because these cowards that do the beating, I don't care about their past. That's another issue. That's a long-term solution. You know what I'm saying? That's a long-term solution. Society got to deal with that. Society got to make sure there are no single mothers. Society, which includes single mothers, young women, they got to make sure they don't become single mothers. You get me? So women who are stronger than men, women are the strongest because we come from a woman. They are the strongest. We listen to a woman, we depend on a woman till we're a certain age as male or female, right? And very few men, no matter what they do to other women, will ever hurt their own mother unless their mother was abusive to them. See? Women gotta stand together. You know what I'm saying? And for fuck's sake, get over the fact that the dude is good looking, or he got this and that materials, or he's famous, whether it's local or beyond fucking local. You know, everybody's mad at Majah Hype. We're all mad at Majah Hype. We're all disappointed at Majah Hype. You know what I'm saying? But let me ask you this. Majah Hype is not a singer. Majah Hype is not an actor. Right? Majah Hype is just a comedian. He makes us laugh. That's it. From when Instagram became big. Some of us have known Majah Hype for years. When he was a sound man, he used to come to 3Cs. You understand? And now he's famous. But this ain't about Majah Hype, what I'm going to say. Some women who agree that what Majah Hype did was wrong, who agree that what Jocure did was wrong, this same Jocure, right, is the one that went to jail for rape, you know. See? So he went to jail for rape, and ever since he's come out, he's never come and publicly said, I was not guilty. He just doesn't talk about it. He did his time. Alright. Majah Hype. He's not Chris Brown. We saw the photos of what Chris Brown did to Rihanna. Rihanna's a celebrity. She's much loved. We saw what Chris Brown did to her. Imagine if it was happening back then there was Instagram Live and everybody was connected the way they're connected right now. How many of you ladies, right? Or how many of your friends, not you maybe, but how many of your friends basically forgave Chris Brown? Only person that can forgive Chris Brown on earth is Rihanna. Everywhere else is God Almighty. You understand? But you know how many women forgive Chris Brown? Why? They got a crush on the motherfucker. Period. Am I fucking bullshitting? That doesn't apply to Majah Hype. I don't think there's any woman out there dreaming of having Majah Hype's kids, or sleeping with him after one of his comedy shows. I don't know. There might be, but I don't think they number in the number of young and older ladies who fantasize about Chris Brown. He's not a singer. He's not an actor. He's not that kind of celebrity. You see it? So celebrity is one thing, but when it comes to taking care of your friend, women gotta stick together. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who was a victim wrote on Facebook earlier, I don't go back, and I got out to save my life. Thinking about, I'm happy with no man, and I'm happy I can stand my ground. Somebody else wrote, I disagree with this post completely. Men needs to hold each other accountable. Listen, police will hold the man accountable. Pick up the phone, call the police. And everyone, especially women, right? Just like how everybody went in the streets, and they're going to pass laws and they're going to make changes in society after the George Floyd protests. But then after Daniel Prude. Do you know who Daniel Prude is? Do you know who Daniel Prude is? The way Daniel Prude was killed in Rochester, New York, and the way it was covered up from March 30th, all right, let's call it April 1st. The whole month of April, May, June, July, August, September, right? From the 4th month of the year to the 9th, 5 months this shit was covered up by the city of Rochester, whose police commissioner is black, whose mayor is a young black woman. And she only came and said what the truth was 1 month after she saw the video of the man getting basically killed for no reason at all. He had mental issues, butt naked on the streets of Rochester, New York in the middle of the night, did not resist arrest. But within 13 minutes later, he was unconscious because of the way police treated him, and he was taken to the hospital, never woke up from a coma, died a week later. Where was the protest then? It was on television, it was on tape. Where was the coverage then? Why wasn't everybody back in the streets? Because they went in the streets already for George Floyd. And then Breonna Taylor became a household name. Still no one's talking about Stephen Taylor and Sean Reed. But let's not get into that. This thing right here, right? This thing is deeper. They can solve all the race issues, and men are still going to beat women, and females are still going to beat their female partner. And the victim has to learn that she can go to her friend, she can go to her family, she can go to someone that she trusts, and she's never going to have to go back to that place again. The laws have to change. A friend of mine is right now trying to get restraining order on the dude. And she gotta go through fucking too much shit to get restraining order on the dude. She's not trying to destroy his life. She's trying to get a restraining order on the dude. You know what I mean? And 2 years ago, I knew a dude who was trying to get a restraining order on the woman. Because domestic abuse goes both ways. It's just most of the time it's men, putting their hands on a woman. You know what I'm saying? We do care about their actions, Tori. What are we talking about? We do care about their actions. We want them in jail. We want them in jail for years. We want them in jail so long. Some people said these people need help. Like Majah Hype's wife talking about, you need help. No, he don't need help. He knows what the fuck he's doing. Look, if they do it once, and they apologize and it never happens again, yeah, I mean the adrenaline was blah 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 blah. But people who do it more than once, you know what I'm saying? It's like those mafia movies, man. It's like those mafia movies where they give somebody who's new a gun and they say, go kill someone, because once they get out of the system, they can just go killing. They don't feel no way about it. So I've spoken to enough domestic abuse victims through the years. One was for a documentary years ago. People like, that was in the 80s. Fuck difference does it make? So what, we all got phones now. Like I said, imagine if Rihanna had a phone and went live with it. Why have people forgiven Chris Brown? Why have people forgiven Chris Brown? You tell me that. You know what I'm saying? There could be a person named Chris Brown somewhere, I don't know, in East Bumfuck in the state of, you know, Chen, Georgia, whatever, who beat up his woman. Right? Nobody forgives him. But if it's Chris Brown the singer, he will get forgiven. If it's somebody who's loved, right, he'll get forgiven. Right? Why does a woman has to show you bruises and shit? You know what I'm saying? A woman can come and say, I was domestically abused. Right? And she has to be given shelter. I'm not saying go arrest the dude. Especially if there's no visible, you know, no visible damage. I'm not saying go arrest the dude. I'm not going to say put the guy's name on the papers and ruin his life. What I'm saying is women are not going to go to the police. Women are going to go to their friends. If they have to go to the hospital, they will go to the hospital. But the first phone call they make is to a trusted friend or a family member. And that family member or that friend has to take control then. You know what I'm saying? If you're a friend, that close a friend that she's going to call you, you have to take control. Not only do you have to make sure they don't go back to that person, you have to make sure you don't give them an opportunity to go back. If you have to keep them in your house, keep them in your house. If you have to send them out of town, send them out of town. If you have to call the police, take them to the police station, fill out the report. You know what I'm saying? If you have to find some dudes from around the way that are gonna, you know, step to that person and basically give him some street justice, or, you know, put the fear of God into him. Yo, these people that raise their hands on women, they're not men. They are not men. They're not full men. Okay? They have a man's body. They have a man's power. They are not men. Men don't hit women. I don't care what the fuck you do to us. A man does not hit a woman unless you come in to threaten our life. Then we defend ourselves, or whatever happens in the process of that, defend it. But a man does not initiate violence on a woman. All right. So, Tori, you can call me. You know the number's right there. Cause you know typing, I'm just gonna type. Whoever disagrees with me, call me. Whoever agrees with me, call me. At the end of the day, we can sit here and talk all night. Because what I say don't make no difference in this country. Who gives a shit what I say? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't either. But at the end of the day, I see it happening again and again and again. I sat there in the 80s with my college mates making a documentary on domestic abuse. We went to the shelter right there across the street. I think it's Fabian Street, across from 3Cs. And we interviewed women there. We interviewed other women in the shelters in Roxbury. Each one of them had a different story, but guess what? One thing didn't change about it. The guy beat them, he came crying back. The guy beat them, he came outside their house, bawling, shedding tears, waking up the whole fucking neighborhood. Everybody was feeling sorry for the dude. Telling her, come on man, give him another chance, man. He sees on his knees. He sees he's coming here every night. He's begging you. He's sorry. Give him another chance. You know what I'm saying? Personally, me, I'm saying, puts his hands on you once, fuck him. He's out of your bumperclap life. And if he puts any marks on you, call the bloody police. And if the police ain't doing enough, we all need to change the laws. You know what I'm saying? Because you shouldn't have to wait for someone to lose their life. It's bad enough that someone getting black and blue, and then, yo, when you see the video that woman made, right? Majah Hype wife made, and you hear the pain in her voice. You see, It's bullshit, man. It's bullshit. Nobody should have to go make a video like that. Not in this country, not in this day and age. You know what I'm saying? Not at all. You know what I'm saying? But if there was video, if there was phones in our hands years ago, you know what I'm saying? And ladies, whatever you do, stop making fucking sex tapes, man. Stop making, I don't care how old you are, stop making them fucking things, man. You know what I'm saying? Bumbleclat Ray J and Kim Kardashian went and made one, and everybody want to be like these rich people. You know, rich people just like country that worship celebrities and don't hold them accountable for fuck all. And they say, oh, it's not their responsibility to set a good example for everybody else. It's up to the parents to guard their children from listening to bullshit songs. But the adults are the ones who watch that sex tape, and now the adults are the ones making it. And then 5-6 years later, something happens between the person and who they made it, and that person puts it out there out of spite. It's a bunch of immature adults out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Tori, you gonna call me? 617-657-9960. Call me, because I can't keep reading, man. My neck be hurting, man. I'm trying to read what you're writing now. But anyway, so Tori wrote earlier, you're making a judgment call on something you did in college in the 80s. Yeah, I am, because nothing's changed. When a man beats a woman, it don't matter what year it is. Did you see the video of the young woman who attempted to call a man's bluff last year and was shot and killed by her boyfriend? No, I didn't see the video, but I can imagine how that happened. She wasn't protected enough by her friends and family. She should have never been in any distance from him for him to come and hunt her down and shoot her. You know what I'm saying? And obviously it wasn't right after the first time that he abused her. Do you think that women do not tell their friends to leave? I don't know if they do, but they obviously don't do it good enough, because they go back. In Chicago, 6 domestic abuse disputes, all in the course of a couple of months, ended in homicide. In Chicago, they have 70 people that get killed every weekend. So 6 in a couple of months, percentage-wise, compared to the deaths altogether. You know what I'm saying? How many homicides didn't happen? You know what I'm saying? Hold on a second. Hello? Tori, what's up? Talk to me. Okay, hold on. Press 1. Hello? What's up, Tori? Alright, talk to me. I'm not making excuses for the abuser. Okay. 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 Alright, hold on, Tori. Let me stop you. People can't hear you. So I'm going to hang up and I'm going to call your number so people can hear you, okay? Alright, sorry. Alright, that's my fault, I think. Let me call her back. Let me call her back so you can all hear her. My apologies. Technical things, see? So let me call her back so everyone can hear her. Yeah, man. We gotta talk about this, because I think it's very important that we do. You know what I mean? I just think it's very important that we do. Let's dial Tori's number now. Tori, if you can hear me, try calling me again, please, because I think this time it will ring on actually, no, wait a second. Wait a second, Tori, don't do it. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. We're gonna ask Tori to call me back. I just gotta make a change to this thing here, and then we're gonna have her calling me back, because the reason she was coming through on my phone. There you go. Hold on. All right, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it to happen. First, I gotta edit this number out, so when Tori's call comes through, it can be through. Come on, man, what's going on? Oh, before Tori calls back, right? I want to say one more thing, right? Like she said, it's not about when it happened, right? And the men have to be held accountable, meaning every man has to be held accountable, right? But honestly, I'm telling you, honestly, a man can only do so much when it comes to this, because the man who does the beating, he doesn't listen. He doesn't listen to his boy. You know what I'm saying? He just doesn't. That's just how it goes. You know what I mean? That's just how it goes. So anyway, I'm going to attempt to give Tori a call here on Facebook. So Tori, I know you're listening. I'm gonna give you a call on Facebook. All right, so just answer the phone on Facebook. It's gonna be a Facebook call, ringing on your Facebook. All right, that way you can hear her voice, because she has a good point to make. You know. Yeah. Hi, Tori. Sorry about that. That's my fault. Okay, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead. Start from the top, babes. Cause nobody heard what you said. Nobody heard. Only I heard what you said. Go ahead. Yeah. Okay. All right. Are you finished? Are you finished? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Tori, you just told me the guy who killed the woman's mother was enabling him for before he committed the crime. You just told me that. Yeah. Right. No. Wait. When domestic abuse happens, right? I want to say most of the time, right? Would you agree that most of the time it happens when the people are alone, when the victim and the abuser are alone? Okay, no one's gonna beat up their woman in front of someone else unless they're. No, but I'm just saying, okay, but most of the time, what is it? Are they alone, or does it happen when they're in front of others? Because to beat someone up in front of others, then the others are all guilty, male, female, whatever. Of course, they're all part of a crime. They could all go to jail for being just like the Chinese guy who's standing there. He didn't touch George Floyd, but he should go to jail. You know what I mean? So. Right, they're a accomplice. Okay, but what I'm saying is, if listen, right, and stopping him, right, right. So, what I'm trying to say, right, is when you know, if you know that your homeboy is abusing his current girlfriend, and he abused the last one, it's how you mean we all know? What do you mean we all know? So you're saying everybody who knows Majah Hype knew that he was beating up his wait. Wait. So you're saying everyone who knows Majah Hype knew that he was abusive? Almost certain. You say you're almost certain that everyone who knows Majah Hype knows that he have abusive. Okay. Yeah. Anyone. You said anyone. You didn't say every man. All right. So okay. So let's assume for a second, right? Let's just assume that the men in this world, none of us give a fuck. Let's just assume that, right? No. I'm just saying let's assume. Come on now. No. Of course it's a problem. Well, there are still women left, right? There's still women left. So the women can call the police too. What I'm trying listen. What I'm trying to say is, first of all, I don't agree with that. Everybody around somebody who's doing the abusing, in this case Majah Hype, knew or knows that's the kind of person he is, and they all, male or female, turn a blind eye to it, basically saying we don't give a fuck about the well-being of another human being, which is the wife and the victim, because we know this dude and he's our friend. Well, what about his wife? I'm sure some of them went to their wedding, right? Yeah. No, I said if the guy says he's gonna kill himself, call his bluff. Tell him to go kill yourself. Guilt of what? The guilt of what? That the guy killed himself because he beat you up? What conscience? You didn't do nothing to him. He did something to you. What are you talking about? No, but let me. I don't want to get too personal in your situation. But I'm sure you know friends, right? I'm sure you know women. They don't have to be friends. All right. So if you live with a guy, that's your partner, right? Sexual harassment takes on a different meaning. We're not talking about sexual harassment. We're talking about domestic violence. All right. So if he's violent, right? Let's forget the words, right? I'm talking about fists and slaps and bruises on your body and broken limbs and shit like that. Damaged ligaments and stuff, right? What I'm trying to tell you is, if someone puts their hands on you and hit you hard. No, I'm not saying, slap your thigh or something, or just, give you an elbow on the side or something. I'm talking about hits you hard over and over again, and it repeats, not just once, but it repeats over a course of however, whether it's weeks or months or a year, once a year or whatever. At what point do you walk away? At what point do you walk away? Why? If you have support, you can do it. I'm not blaming the victim. I'm blaming the friends. I'm blaming the people around the victim. I'm blaming the people around the, just like how you blaming the mother. Just like how you blaming the mother of the one who killed his girlfriend. The mother enabled them. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you would call the police first, right? If your girlfriend, right? So here's my question. Here's my Yeah. Listen, again, and I'm not making excuses for any man who knows his friend or his brother or his cousin is beating up his girlfriend. I'm not making excuses for that man. But what I'm saying is, most of the time, as soon as a woman is hurt, right, she doesn't call the brother of the dude who beat her up. She doesn't call the father of the dude who beat her up. She calls her best friend or her family. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And chances are that best friend, chances are that. How? What are you talking about? Okay, so, all right, so a man knows his friend, a family knows that their son is abusive because he was verbally abusive, right? A family knows that. Wait a second, hold on, Tori's voice is still not coming through. What the fuck? Anyway, so you can talk, and I'll just repeat. Tori's saying Tori's saying that the people around the abuser, right, are basically responsible for making sure that the original protection begins there. That the people who are around the abuser don't enable him to continue with his ways, and they have to give a heads up to the woman that's about to commit to him or get with him or whatever, and they got to make sure that that person is not going to be getting an opportunity to become abusive to a woman. Am I right, Tori? Am I correct? So yeah, so what are you saying? But in order to be verbally abusive, right? They would have to, a man would have to verbally abuse his girlfriend in front of other dudes, right? Yes or no? I mean, no, wait. If you're saying that I would know, suppose I know that a friend of mine has a habit of being verbally abusive towards women, that would have to happen in front of me first, right? I would have to see it, right? Okay. Let me tell you something. If I know, yeah. No. Let me tell you. Okay, I understand what you're saying. Let me tell you something. Me personally, if I know someone, I don't befriend guys who I get to find out for sure that they beat up their ex-girlfriend, or they beat up blah blah. I distance myself from people like that. But if I know someone who I've distanced myself from, this has happened, and I noticed that this dude in the clubs and stuff, he's trying to get with this one particular female, and I know the female. Like, I'm not just gonna step up to a female that I don't know, because I don't know how they're gonna react, right? But if I know the female, I make sure she gets the message either through a mutual friend, or I finally say it to her myself. I say, yo, you better look out for this Mr. X, because he has a habit. He has a habit of being very nice. But now you're not letting me talk. He has a habit of being nice in the beginning, and then after a while he's gonna want to take your phone, look at who calling you, answer your phone like he's your fucking boss and secretary, and he's gonna want to say, you can't call this, you can't go there, you can't do that. It starts like that. You know what I'm saying? Possessive. What? Women? Yeah. 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 Okay. His mother said, you need to leave my son, because his baby mother. Yeah. Yeah. So so let me just repeat real quick, because I don't know, I'm not sure. No one's repeating whether they can hear you or not. I can't figure it out here because I'm talking to you, so I can hear your voice fine. So you were involved with a person, and after, were you already like abused when they told this to you, or were you in the hospital for something else? You were already being abused in a relationship, and at the point that you were already in a relationship with this person, he was the father of a kid, and that kid's mother came to you and said, you need to get out of this relationship because this guy has a potential to really do harm to you, serious harm to you. So it's all right. So to kill you, okay. So my question is, here's a woman that's giving you a warning. Why is she waiting so fucking long? And besides, if it, no, okay, she didn't know you, but she abused him. He must have abused her, right? Okay, so why is he still walking around? If he's got the potential to kill a person, why is he still walking around? Why didn't she take it further? Why did she just give up? Because they had a child together and she don't want the child's father to go to jail? Of course. Yeah, she can protect herself and the child. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. You're right. You're right. Okay. 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 So listen. Okay. Every neighborhood in America, right, has a publicly, you can access your neighborhood or your surrounding area or state, what they call it, child offenders, right, sexual offenders, because their names are public, and if they move into your area, you know, the community is made aware that there's a sexual offender living on your street now, right? Now you tell me, I'm not a lawmaker, neither are you, but we elect these people, right? This is an issue, and how many women go through this? How many women's friends go through this? How many mothers, just like the mother that warned such and such or enabled? How many mothers and brothers and sisters know that their brother or cousin is like this? So if everybody agrees that this is a problem and it shouldn't be happening to anyone, why can't we all come together and make sure that there's an equivalent of a sexual offenders list for everybody who raise their hands on their partner, no matter what they are? So that's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? But it has to start, you know, before we go through the process of having those laws and stuff. All right, it comes down to a few things. When a family member, when a mother says, my son is like this and that, I know it, but I'm just gonna, you know, because a mother will never stop loving their child. It's one thing to love your child, which we all do, no matter what they do. It's another thing to not hold them accountable, and not to put your child in front of the well-being and safety of another human being. Then you need to go to fucking jail too. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so this is my thing. But at the end of the day, Tori, listen, my friend. What I'm saying to you is, men are not the first to know that a domestic abuse situation took place, unless it took place in front of them. Now, if there's a man sitting there watching football and his boy starts beating up on his girlfriend that lives with him, and the male is either a visitor to their house or they're visiting his house, I can't see how many men are going to sit there, men, not boys, I can't see how many men are going to sit there and let him keep beating the woman. What? No, now I'm talking about men, grown men, instead of little boys. Teenagers. Fine. Men. Teenagers are men. teenagers are men. I didn't call them boys. Men. Okay? What I'm saying is, if a man is sitting there and he sees another male friend of his or a family member of his beating up another woman, there's no way he's going to sit there and say keep doing it, unless they're both like doing some, you know, gangbang rape kind of shit. And that's rape. That's not consent. That's not someone has a relationship, blah, blah, blah. Verbal abuse, I agree. And they should say something. But they, or they, no, listen. No. Am I what? Say it again. Do I think that there's men out there that don't beat their women in front of their friends? Of course, there's all kinds. Of course, but listen, at the end of the day, if the victim's still alive and they walk away from that situation, it all depends on what kind of support the victim gets, either from friends, from society, from community, and from law enforcement, correct? That person has to get protected. So if protection, if it's gonna take an arm and a leg and a foot and a neck just for you to get a fucking restraining order, that's on law enforcement. That's on our elected officials. That's on the attorney general. That's on the police. That's on the judges. That will not issue an immediate restraining order, and there has to be a call made to 911. So this guy came and broke his restraining order. And there's a warrant issued for that person's arrest, and those persons need to, yeah. 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 No, that's not something to play with. If someone threatens you, that threat is bad enough. That threat should be taken seriously. I get it. Yeah. But I never said nothing about that. I said somebody wrote, person will try to will threaten to take his own life. Let him take his own fucking. Or if you don't come back to me, I'll kill myself. Well, kill yourself. Fuck you. It's not I don't care. I'm just saying, hey, he couldn't deal with it, so he killed himself. He knew he did wrong. They didn't do nothing to make the guy kill himself. The guy killed himself. It was his own problems. Yeah. Why would you be on the phone with him again? Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Manipulation of the mind is a real thing when it comes to abuse. I agree. Yeah. 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 No. Yeah. Well, mhm. Yeah. All right, Tori, let me ask you this now, right? Do you think, statistically, I don't know the statistic, we can take a guess though, right? There's a lot of domestic abuse that doesn't get to a police report, yes or no? Most domestic abuse doesn't even reach the police station. No phone is picked up to call the police, right? But there's domestic abuse, right? But as long as there's domestic abuse and it goes beyond the two people involved to a third party, isn't it most likely to be is the victim that lets one of her friends or family know? Especially if there's bruises involved and there's cuts and there's and co-workers like going to work and like, what happened to your face? You know what I mean? Like, what I'm trying to say is that not every situation, I don't me personally, I don't know the statistics, but I bet you a lot of situations don't even get past, you know, they don't even, there's no phone call to the police, much less 911. Nothing. Right? Police doesn't get involved. Okay, fine. But there is abuse. And I'm talking about physical, right? Where it's visible that somebody got black eye, for example. And that person goes to work, that person sees their girlfriend, their, you know, their mother, their family, their, you know what I'm saying? So, of course, listen, if someone hurts someone's sister, that dude is going to make sure that the person who hurt his sister is, you know, is dealt with somehow, some way. Yes? Okay. So is sometimes, well, let's assume most of the time the guy, the brother or the father or the uncle or the cousin of a female who's abused has pride, that we all assume they do, and they do deal with it. But what I'm trying to say is, when the woman has no one else to call other than a friend, other than a sister, other than a cousin, other than another woman, right? One-on-one situation, you can take every situation and describe it, and yes, you're right. Everything you said, I agree with. But as a broader, if you fly up and look at it from outside of the orbit, like you see the Earth is one big ball, and you can see the movements of the clouds and stuff. Hurricanes are coming from Africa all the way to this side, so be ready. It's coming in 3 days. What I'm trying to say is, we, society, have to understand this is an issue that has to be dealt with, and it has to start with the people who the victim approaches first. Those people have to be ready, right, to be there for their friend, for their family member. And if they have to make sacrifices, they have to. Because like you said, that woman can lose her life. And at the end of the day, that man will end up going to jail. So two families are going to be like ruined in grief. Yeah? So the best way to do it is, if it ever happens, yes, you're right. If a mother or a brother or a sister knows, you know, my brother is abusive, and they see like he's dating someone new, they should try and get word to that person. no matter how much they love their brother, that's their responsibility to make sure that he deals with his anger issues, because they don't want him to end up in jail because he did something stupid and hurt someone, and somebody may just fall and hit their head against him. We've all seen it in the movies, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, once the abuse has taken place in private, one-on-one, inside the house, inside the apartment, and that woman is hurt, and she calls her friend, and she runs away, and she calls her friend, she goes to her friend's house, that friend should make sure that she protects, calling the police, not letting her go back, telling others in the dude's family, in whatever, in whoever you know, let everyone know that this dude just beat up my friend. Because think about it. 20 years ago, there was, like you said, there was no Instagram, there was no social media, there was no telephone, there was no cameras on our phones. 20 years ago, 22 years ago, 25 years ago. So how's people supposed to know then? You know what I'm saying? So this always, not necessarily. If she becomes a target, then she becomes a target. At least she's more protected. I'm not saying it's okay that she becomes. You mean the friend becomes a target? You mean the friend becomes a target? That's what you. Yeah. Okay. What I'm saying is, most of these guys are cowards, and they're not going to go out there and do follow-ups like that. Well, I'm. Yes, I understand that, and that's why it needs. That's why it needs to be dealt with heavily. That's why people. How many times have you heard of a situation where there's a case and the female victim doesn't show up to court, and the guy walks? I mean, come on, like where's the support? How many people? Why are people not urging her to show up to court? Yeah. You're right. Sometimes there is no physical evidence. Exactly. Yeah. 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 Well, then that family needs to be asked the question of, when the family says, I know he did wrong, but let's try to be supportive of him. All right. So then the question has to be, what do you propose to be supportive of him? Like, how do you support someone who has this issue of people who are abusive? They're not abusive 24 hours a day. There are times when they're cool, but then they're. Well, if it's abusive 24 hours a day, then there's absolutely no need to not show up to court. There's absolutely no need not to call 911. There's absolutely no need. No. Yeah. 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 Nothing to him. I get it. Well, okay. So, I get you. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. 6 restraining orders? But why should there be any more than one? That's my. I don't understand. Yeah. Uh huh. Okay. 6. I mean, 6 different restraining orders from 6 different women. Are you serious? Wow. So someone can have. Right. So someone can have that many restraining orders on them, right? You know something? You know something? Yeah. Yeah. You know some. You know something? You know something, Tori? Cameras, right? So here's the thing. If I run 6 stop signs in a 5-year period, my license gets suspended. But you telling me if a guy has 6 restraining orders by 6 different women, nothing technically happens to him? It's just one restraining order. He just moves away. He just avoids Tory and moves to such and such, and then that one says he did something. Restraining order on second woman, and then he moves on to a third and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth, and nothing happens to him so long as he stays away from. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. But that's a serial abuser. 6 restraining orders. What the fuck? So yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Nobody. You. So that's why so Tori. I'm not trying to go against what you're saying. I learned a lot from you. But that's the thing. Where was your support group, whether it's male or female? Yeah. Yeah. But you had no girls that could have gone with you? No friends that could go with you and say, yeah, I've seen him, be abusive towards her? Nobody could. Well, then I hope you take it. I hope you take it as your. Yeah. So I hope women like you. There are women out there who've been abused, and I think if you all come together and you all form an organization, because I'm telling you, ultimately, women are more powerful than men when it comes to they can get shit done, and I said it. Hmm. Yeah, I get it. Well, ultimately, it comes down to, yeah, 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 I see. I get you. I get you. Well, this society needs to get back to having strong families because that's where it begins. You know what I'm saying? If you have strong families and there's a father and a mother and they make sure the son doesn't grow up thinking they can say anything to a woman or anything to his little sister, you know what I mean, and bully whichever woman comes his way and think he can get away with it. At the end of the day, it comes down to that. And I don't buy half the shit where they say, oh, the men who put their hands on a woman, they have issues and they need, some of them might need treatment, yeah, but let them get that treatment while they're doing jail time. You know what I'm saying? That'll fucking teach their ass. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's disgusting that I gotta hear from yourself and others how people can just get away with restraining orders. Yes, of course there are gonna be some women who just gonna report you just to fucking screw you up because you cheated on them or something. But most of the time women are gonna go and have a good reason for why they want to take out a restraining order on a man. But if six is not 1 and 2. 6 is a lot. And for someone to have 6 restraining orders and still be out there trying to get with the 7th woman and making her life miserable, there's something broken in the system that we live in. The judicial system and the law enforcement. Somebody like that shouldn't be out here. Yeah. Because when the guy walks away from 6, unfortunately that 7th one might not be the one he walks away from. Like you said, she might be the one that ends up badly hurt or not alive no more. So exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. So it's a two-pronged. It's like a two-sided attack, Tory. Right? You saying the people around the male abuser or the abuser, whatever gender he or she may be, the people around the abuser who quote unquote love that abuser and they know that that abuser has faults are responsible for making sure that whoever he gets with is given a warning. And then that person makes their own decision. And I'm saying once something happens and that person comes and goes to a friend or somebody for help, you know what I'm saying? Those people who know the victim have to take it upon themselves and have to make sacrifices to make sure once is enough. People have to understand once is too many. Just like how one death from the coronavirus is too many. So imagine how many 270,000 is. One is too many. Then one incident of abuse should be enough for any woman, any female, any partner in any relationship, male or female, to say, I just got abused, I'm leaving. And then there's got to be a support system that can make them deal with that. I know it's not simple, but it's possible. It's not simple, but it's possible. Yeah. Okay. So you diffuse the mind. Yeah, you diffuse. Yeah, the mind that manipulates is like a bomb. So you got to diffuse the bomb. If it never blows up, then there's no harm done, right? So, yeah. All right, Tori. Thanks for the wisdom. Yeah. Thank you very much. You have a good night. Take care of yourself. Big up Tory Visage, man. Bad guy. Seeing? Yeah. So people, I don't know if you hear it because I can't figure out because I don't have a monitor here. So, but anyway, thank you so much for Tori for the call. She's very passionate about the situation because she has personal experience. So I appreciate her call. You know what I'm saying? Getting new perspective. Like I said, I'm not looking at it like a glass half empty or half full. No, it's not like that. I'm just saying, I'm saying what should be done after the first case of abuse is actually taking place, physical abuse, and she's saying that let's not even let it get to a point where the abuse takes place, and she has a great point. I just think, one is reaction, one is reactive, the other one is proactive. Of course, it's good to be proactive, but I just think the proactive process takes a long time, and it's a different. You have to just have society have a different mindset. But in the short term, you have to deal with the situation when it comes up, right? Just like when you get a flat tire. See? So once you get a flat tire, you have to fix the flat tire, otherwise the car is not going to go far. And my whole thing is, once it happens, the people around the victim who are aware, made aware, before, even if the police is never made aware, but they're the ones who have to take on the responsibility and make the sacrifices to make sure the person is safely taken away from that person, and doesn't have to worry about them becoming a threat to them ever again. And secondly, people need to mobilize, male and female. Everybody has to mobilize. If you agree that abuse is wrong, if you agree that abuse is wrong, and if you don't, then you're a dickhead. You know what I'm saying? We all have to come together and get together and protest and make our voices heard and say, this is bullshit, the fact that somebody has got 6 restraining orders on him, and there's no way of a woman being able to go on an online database and check the domestic abuse records, or restraining order records of someone online. Every police city police department, you should be able to go on a national website, type someone's name if you have their real name, and if they have restraining orders, there should be a database of the number of restraining orders, period. And if a woman sees someone with 1 or 2 restraining orders, or even 1, she should check herself before she gets involved with that person, or whoever, a partner should think twice before getting involved with someone who's had restraining orders on them, or at least bring it up in a phone conversation when you're nowhere near the person and be like, yeah, we need to talk about this, we need to explain this, because it could be a misunderstanding. Let the person explain. But if the explanation is not satisfactory to you, then walk away. There's too many people in this world. You're not going to be lonely. You know what I'm saying? You'll find someone. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much for Tori for calling in, and I just hope and pray that anybody out there who's in a bad relationship, whether it's mental, physical, I hope never gets physical, verbal, emotional, mental, you know what I mean? It's hell. You know what I'm saying? I can only imagine. I hope they can find a way out, and once they're out, stay the fuck out. Listen, do not forgive these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Let them stay miserable as they are. And yeah, if you see them with another person, try to warn that person. You can do it now anonymously through social media, etc., etc. Get word to them. Watch out for this person you're with, because they have a tendency to lose it. They might be cool now, they might be cool 98% of the time, but that 2% ain't fucking worth it. Alright everybody, stay safe, God bless you and your family, stay protected, one love. Thanks for tuning in. We out.